We're gonna talk about this. Do y'all watch Marriage Boot Camp? I know y'all probably don't. About it. Yeah. So the current season is out, right?
Tahiry was wrong.
So I'm gonna explain what happened to anybody that might not watch it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Tahiry is there with her dude, and on this particular episode, they were doing like a not a challenge, but like a little activity where like the doctor gave each person a list of things that if their partner do, they supposed to get shocked with, right?
Right.
Mind you, he wasn't even shocking her in the beginning of the day. I don't know if you noticed that. He was not shocking her in the beginning of the day.
He was supposed to have been shocking her all day.
Right. And he wasn't.
Exactly.
So then when he started shocking her, she caught a little attitude and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, after a while, and then they got into it, she throws two
apples.
Apples, not plastic apples. Y'all know how hard apples are when that motherfucker hit you?
No, not even she threw them. How close was she when she threw them?
She was the right here.
Exactly.
And she was boom, right in his face. Mm-hmm. And then boom, directly second with the second. Mm-hmm. He did not put his hands on her at the time.
No.
He got up and I would have knocked her ass over. I probably wouldn't have punched her as a guy. I don't think I would have like physically knocked that ass out. But I would have pushed her to the floor for sure. Anyway, so he did not. Being the good man that he is, he did not. So anyway, he ended up, later on, they started talking about the activity and stuff. And while they were talking, and she's somehow like this victim by getting shocked or whatever, he gets irritated and he goes and stands up and like he grabs her shirt. Come here. Like he grabs her shirt, like this. He ain't choke her. Because I would have more. But, he jacks her up.
He got physical.
As soon as the host came, he let her go. They left, started talking and stuff like that. And they made this big deal. They took him out the house. And they did all this other stuff. Mind you, 2 episodes before that, 2 different guys got physical in the house. They was in a fist fight. Mm-hmm. Right? And I hope this doesn't come off wrong. And I apologize if it do, but I mean what I say. I always mean what I say. My delivery is always trashy sometimes. But what I say, I mean. They made such a big deal out of him jacking her up, but nobody said anything about her throwing apples in this nigga's face.
Yeah. I mean, So I actually saw this. He was wrong for what he did.
Absolutely.
It should never be a case where a man puts his hands on, or unless he backed into a corner and she has a weapon, you have no way other than getting away from. You should never touch a woman unless your life is dependent or the life of one of your loved ones. Because other than that, you should always walk away. He was wrong for how he reacted because the only thing that he can control is himself. But I feel as though the production was wrong for not protecting him.
Right.
Taking the steps to protect him from the abuse that he suffered on the behalf of his partner at the time. Because that's the very first thing he said when he got up. He said, "Come on, man. She hit me in the face with these apples. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that."
Right.
So it's not an excuse because again, they both were wrong. Mm-hmm. In this situation.
But it was handled wrong.
It was that's what I'm saying.
It was handled wrong. So that's what it was. I'm not knocking Tahiry for throwing the apples, and I'm not knocking him for jacking her up. They were both wrong. Mm-hmm. But why are y'all doing all this to protect her from getting jacked up when she could have knocked out his teeth, she could have broke his nose, she could have fractured his eye socket. Yeah. She could have done way more damage, and nobody protected him. When the 2 guys got into the fist fight, nobody got put out the house. Mm-hmm. They were physically attacking each other. Nobody got put out the house. But
I don't think it was a fist fight. They was pushing.
Whatever. It was supposed to be physical. They just didn't know how to fight.
If I was him, I was to order them.
I don't think
he probably has. First of all, they still paid him. They probably had some clauses in the contract that he wasn't supposed to do that, so he probably violated the contract. But we gotta take in mind that at the time this was recorded, this is I'm not sure the height, but mainly the height of Me Too and all that was still going on. You're on WeTV, Women's Entertainment Television. They're always going to take the woman's side and point of view. But that's a lose-lose situation. I always tell any of my youngest or anybody listen, that's a male fighting a female, fighting a girl is a lose-lose situation. Because if she whip your ass, you just got beat up by a girl. But if you whip her ass, you just beat up a girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? Right. So it's a lose-lose situation. I always encourage everybody to stay out of lose-lose situations. But it was handled not necessarily wrong, but it wasn't fair in the sense that he wasn't protected in the way that she was protected. Because if they would have pulled them apart and maybe spoke about the incident with the apples, it would have stopped the further incident from happening. But yeah, it's a tough
wrong.
situation.
And then like she's like, everybody's like, are you okay? Who the fuck asked him was he okay when he got apples thrown in his face?
I mean, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like
she only got chopped up. It was no hurt.
But I tell women all the time, don't put your hand on a man unless you are prepared to get your ass whooped or get an ass whooping. My mama told me at a very young age, take an ass whooping or give one. That's why I jump out there with anybody. I don't care. I try not to jump out there with guys anymore.
Ass whooping. I'm not getting it.
I try not to jump out there with guys anymore because I know most likely I am going to lose the fight. So I try not to jump out there. However, I'm just like, if you disrespect me, anybody going to catch these hands. But, you know, I'm not going to play